This is our concluding episode on our 1-week exploration of the management of third-party risk. Today we take up contractual terms and conditions for compliance. Compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short, curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. No surprise, as the lawyer in me wants to have compliance terms and conditions in every third-party contract, both on the vendor side and on the sales side of things. So today we're going to take a look at some key compliance terms and conditions. Compliance terms and conditions have long been recognized as a key component for managing of third-party risks. The 2020 FCPA Resource Guide 2nd edition stated, in addition to considering a company's due diligence on third parties, the DOJ and SEC also assess whether the company has informed third parties of the company's compliance program and commitment to ethical and lawful business practices, and where appropriate, whether it has sought assurances from third parties through certifications and otherwise of reciprocal commitments. These can be meaningful ways to mitigate third-party risks. You should incorporate appropriate compliance terms and conditions into every contract with third parties. I would suggest you prepare a template which can be used as a starting point for your negotiations. The advantage of a template are several, and they include the contract language is tested against real events. The contract language assists the company in managing its compliance risks. The contract language fits into a series of related contracts, and the contract language is straightforward to administer. The contract language helps to manage the expectations. What should go in compliance terms and conditions? Well, some of the key terms, compliance terms and conditions include indemnification, full indemnification for any bribery or corruption violation, cooperation, require cooperation with any ethics and compliance investigation, specifically including email review and bank accounts relating to your company. 3, a material breach of contract, that any robbery or corruption violation be made a material breach of contract, so the contract can be terminated with no notice and opportunity to cure. No sub-vendors. A business partner must agree that will not hire an agent, subcontractor, or consultant without a company's prior written consent. Audit rights. A key element of any contract with third parties should include retention of audit rights. These audit rights must exceed simple audit rights associated with financial relationship between the parties and include a full review of all compliance terms and conditions. Ongoing training. Require top managers of the partner receive ongoing training. An annual certification. Require an annual certification stating that the business partner has not engaged in any conduct which violates the FCPA or other laws. And then, of course, requalification, making sure that your third party signs up to a new contract at an appropriate time. I would suggest a couple of years going forward. Many do not believe that they will be able to get a third party to agree to such compliance terms and conditions. I've found that while it may not be easy, it's relatively simple to get a third party to agree to them. One approach is that these are not negotiable. When faced with such a position on non-commercial terms, many third parties will not fight a position. While there's some flexibility, the DOJ will require minimum compliance terms and conditions. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, compliance terms and conditions are mandatory for any best practices compliance program. 2, a key clause is the right to audit clause. And 3, third parties can favor robust compliance terms and conditions as a true market differentiator. I hope you've enjoyed this week. We're going to be off the week of Thanksgiving, and we'll see you the week after. And I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip. Either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced with the assistance of AI.